Hi everyone, welcome to Founders Diary.
Metrotek actually started from Jaja. But
Did he start off as Metrotek?
he actually started off as Metrotek. He actually started off as Metrotek. You have to put in the work for people to see. Even if you have staff, you don't just sit down and you start instructing left, right. Nah, they will look at, they're not inspired. So you have to actually try and manage them to see the reason why they need to actually believe in what you're offering. First of all, it has to come in the belief to see what you're offering. If they don't believe in where you're going to, you keep going back, front, back, and that's time consuming. You have to build the business in a way that if you take yourself out, the business stays. But that takes a lot of time.
So when you came out of school, what was the next?
I studied engineering. I had to choose whether do I want to go with this because work day. There was work already waiting.
Work day.
Basically, I didn't work for anybody. That's why I always tell graphics guys, you feel that everything comes from, okay, you want to go and check YouTube. You need to always go out and explore. You can't get everything online. The way you communicate with people, the way you see things, you go out, you go for events, those are where you get a lot of things that you now bring back as your elements. You now use that to build yourself.
Hi everyone, welcome to Founders Diary. With me on today's episode is Kingmate Tonye. He's the founder Metrotek. Welcome to today's shows, Mr. Kingmate.
Chief, welcome.
Tell us more about yourself and tell us about Metrotek basically.
My name is Tonye Kingmate, CEO of Metrotek. Metrotek is more of a branding company. We do into branding, ideation, prints, then consultancy also. So Metrotek has been for over roughly 12 years, if I'm right, 10 to 12 years, from various things we've done from back in school, those days in school, designs, prints, but we actually evolved from that into more of ideation, giving brands more of ideas to build the business, more brand development through our ideas and through our way of thinking for them. So generally, that's what we actually do at Metrotek.
Okay. Interesting. So the past series that we've had, right, has had people that are from industries that I'm familiar with.
Okay.
So my background is in finance and technology, right? So with your own industry now is a different. I don't know anything about. Well, okay, I've been involved with strategy at some point, but not necessarily brand. So maybe I've worked with the brand team to say, okay, you guys want to do this. But I've not really been involved in the core branding, print, ideation, in terms of putting out that visibility in terms of your business, right? So it's sort of a new area for me, even though I have an idea. So, but basically, like I said, what we're trying to do is for you to just share your experiences, right? As a business owner, I'm sure that you have challenges every day. I'm sure there are people that give you a dick every day, right? And so the thing is, how the question that we ask that comes to mind is, how do you even manage all of this and still live? But before we get there, I would like you to share with me how it all started, the journey so far. How did Metrotek become what it is now? Trust me, you have created a brand that would last for a very long time, and it would be interesting to know how it all started.
Okay, back to that your point of branding never stops. That's why I always tell people you need to always evolve with time. So I would say Metrotek actually started from Jaja back then.
Oh, Jaja and Unilag, I know Jaja.
Back then in Unilag.
That used to be the engineering quarters now.
Engineering quarters, So we said Jaja did a lot of. I was actually doing magazines. I had a partner. We're actually into magazines, so we do events and everything. We go for pictures. We take pictures. I do the designs and everything. So with time, I just started seeing all these club parties. They just do their designs, and I'm like, must they always put naked women on top flyers? And I'm like, it's getting too much. So I just thought of something you know what? Let me give some people some kind of ideas, not just doing the parties and everything. You need to give them a reason why they need to come for the parties. So we started creating ideas for them. I go to some of those club boys, I tell them about the ideas, how far this thing will fly you. And they buy into it, and we do the designs, and from there it became an household name, you understand. If you want to do the best designs, call Metrotek. You don't even need to think. They will do the thinking
But
for you.
a question, sorry to cut you. Did it start off as Metrotek?
He actually started off as Metrotek. Yeah, he actually started off as Metrotek. It was more of, I didn't even give you the meaning of the Metrotek itself.
Okay.
You understand? It was Metro is actually a city. Tech is finding solutions for that city.
Okay.
So there's a slogan I actually have: solutions are not born in technology, but in the way people can recognize, explore, and utilize available tools and limitless potentials. So that's where the bet of Metrotek came in. That was where the synergy
Interesting.
of the city and technology, finding solutions for a city. That was where the bet of Metrotek came from. Then concerning your, what's the word? The issues of people.
Yeah, people, yeah.
See, a business actually is, let me come from my own part when I was starting up.
Okay.
You have to put in the work for people to see. Even if you have staff, you don't just sit down and you start instructing left, right. Nah, they will look at, they're not inspired. You need to be able to do the work so that they know that, Oga can do this work. Oh. So if you Jones, you snooze new. So you have to actually like try and manage them to see the reason why they need to actually believe in what you are offering. First of all, it has to come in the belief to see what you're offering. If they don't believe in where you're going to, you keep going back, front, back. And that's time consuming. Because the way you have to build the business, you have to build the business in a way that if you take yourself out, the business stays. But that takes a lot of time.
It takes a lot of time.
So that's why I always tell somebody that, see, if you feel that you have done 5 years as CEO and you feel you have created the process, sometimes you might create the process, but is the process working?
Yeah, true.
You understand? So it's not just about, because it's, I always say something, you can't do it. Sometimes you can't do it the way you would do it. Some people might not do it the way you would do it. But you need to teach them the way you feel it should be done. That's why I always say you need to actually have good people around you, good staff, good partners and everything. That's the only way you can actually achieve your goals.
Before we go into like the staffing, right? You talked about how it started from Jaja designing for parties, events, and then so when you came out of school, what was like the next thing? Did you like immediately go into it, or you you went to 9 to 5? Like for example, me, I did 9 to 5 for a number of years before. So how was it like transitioning? I want to know, did you like immediately move into it? Or
Let me put it this way. I think when I left school, I had a very big decision to make. Like I studied engineering and I had to choose whether do I want to go with this, because work day. There was work already waiting.
Work day.
So I remember my person asked me one day, say, how far? You want to go to Port Harcourt? LNG is waiting though. I said LNG. I said no. Say I'll give you. Give me some time. But my mom, she was always like, oh Lord, big pali.
After all this also, after
all this, I just decided that no, I actually want to focus on this and I actually want to make it better, because I know that there's something that I saw that I could do that people valued. Because after I left school, even when I was serving, I actually always came back to Lagos every week. I didn't spend so much time where I was serving. I came back, go, because people actually created that platform of where they know that, oh, you should be able to do it. So I actually just focused on it, placed my focus, and basically, I didn't work for anybody. I have actually not worked for anybody.
So basically, you went from spending 7 years. How many years is engineering?
Engineering is 5 years.
5 years engineering to becoming a printer. How? How did that work? Like, how did your parents think that? Like, of course, for me, I'm not. It's going to be crazy. Like, you go study engineering, you can't say you want to go. They go Shomolu.
Well, it was hectic, because sometimes you just sit down and you just be thinking, end of month to just come. Come around me.
Nothing is certain. There's because there's
you look at what can I do. So I actually I just started designing, so I started building myself in different ways, thinking outside the box, looking for how to do things differently. That was what I was actually doing. And I can remember when I was still at home, there's one place in my popsies where we were staying. I actually now created like an office there. And it didn't take me, I think it was almost like 6 months. Then my popsy told us that we are moving. After I've spent so much money. And I'm like, say this man don't even like move forward though. That time he saw me, I was doing the place. He didn't mention anything. He didn't say anything. I was like, I was so down and I felt very bad about it. And we moved and I actually stayed. When they moved to the new place, I actually stayed with my friends. You get trying to always do things, sleepless nights. That's the, see, that part, I always tell anybody that, I always tell graphics guys that you feel that everything comes from, okay, you want to go and check YouTube, everything. You yourself, you need to always go out and explore. You can't get everything online. The way you communicate with people, the way you see things, you go out, you go for events, those are where you get a lot of things that you now bring back as your elements. You now use that to build yourself. You now decide, what direction do I want to go in this my business? Do I want to remain as a graphics person, an ideation person, or I put everything in one, all in one? Like me, for someone like me now, I thank God I actually have both ways. I have strategy and I have the magic.
Yeah.
It's very hard for you someone that has strategy and have magic. So it balances me. It gives me that, okay, from I can do the magic and I can also build the business.
Interesting.
A lot of creatives actually have that problem in having the magic and not having the strategy. So it's always a challenge for every creative.
One thing that I admire about you, and to be honest, right? So most of the people that have been on this show has actually been people that are in the industry, that in tech, in finance, and I've actually looked at your journey and seen how you've grown in terms of like, okay, you just mentioned it now, from engineering to starting up a printing company, and then you've evolved into ideation, strategy, right? So it involves a lot of risk. You actually did take a risk, having to say, you know what, you want to start up your business. Trust me, I didn't start that early enough. I still had to work for about 5 years, thereabout, and then saved money, and then started taking even the risk. We were just like, okay, how far? Let's see how it goes. But you went straight into it. How was it for you taking that risk? Because number one, how did you say, okay, fine, you must have been doing small gigs while in school, but that risk for you, what was it like? Because there's a lot of uncertainty around it.
Yeah, a lot of uncertainty around it because you don't know what tomorrow holds. And that's part of the saving money is actually like, how will I put it, is a discipline you need to have. Very important discipline. It's not like when you start thinking that, okay, if gig comes today, another gig must come tomorrow. You have to actually like know that this might be my gig for the whole of the month, and I might not send that gig again to do it. So the good part was that I actually like I was always out there. I was always in people's face. I actually try and talk, market yourself, sell what you are, market what you are selling. Because if you don't say your problem, you can't have a solution.
True.
You need to talk that this is what I do. And I did a lot of free work. Man. There's one time I actually checked my system and I actually looked at almost close to 1,000 designs.
Wow.
And some of them were free gigs, some of them were paid. But the good part is that let me say grace and Lipot. The good part was the guys that were doing free work for, they may not have that time. Because you all were all in the same age bracket.
Correct, exactly.
They just said, please let me do something so and this thing. And with time, they grew in their own field also. So now, and you were still consistent over the years.
True.
So those are the little things that you sacrificed before. And those are the risks you took by doing those free gigs for people that you feel like, okay, I like the project, I like it. I always take projects that I enjoy, that it challenges me. So I don't think about the money, first of all. I think about, okay, let me take the work and let's see where it goes. But the good part is that you need to allow your work to speak for you. When the work is speaking for you, the risks will be lesser. That's the whole thing. The work has to speak. The work has to have a niche. The design has to have a niche. If there's no niche in the design, if there's no style, someone has to see your work and say, who did this? If your work doesn't say like that, then you need to go back to the drawing board. That's the risk you have to take.
So there's something that is unique about your industry. It has to do with quality and standards, because you're creating designs, you're creating ideas, you're branding for companies. So, and you cannot do it alone. You need people around you.
Yeah.
So how have you been able to ensure that you have those quality people that can also do, not really necessarily up to what you are doing, but you can groom them into getting to that level? Because as you grow, you're going to definitely need people. Say, for example, somebody needs you in Abuja, in Port Harcourt, in Dubai. You need someone that can say, you know what, go to Abuja. So how are you able to build your brand in a way that it doesn't solely rely on you? Because you talked about it, that you're trying to create something whereby once you're out of it, like, it's still sustainable.
Okay, so I always, when it comes to, I'm not saying about me alone. I'm trying to see the other SMEs also.
Okay.
When it comes to building a brand, I always say there's always a difference between a business and a brand. When you know what you want, it's either you stick to it or you don't stick to it. So concerning major play of people, every good business or any growing business, any great brand must actually have great staff. It's either, like I said, if I'm 100, anybody you're going to bring into the team, if he's at 40, you should be able to fine-tune that person to get to even 70.
At least.
At least. Par. The person needs to be able to see where you are going to. If they don't see where you are going to, you keep going. But I don't believe in changing of staff. I don't believe in all those, you fire people because you're not doing this. I just feel like some people are slow learners, some people are fast learners. So I always find a way to actually imbibe that habit of quality. If it takes you 3 years, 4 years, 2 years to imbibe your ideology, your philosophy to somebody that you see that can grow, try and do it. Because the moment you do that to the person will appreciate the business, will appreciate what you have given the person.
Yeah, correct.
And also, when the business is actually in a small space, I always say SMEs, that's the fastest way you can grow. In a big company, you don't grow. There are a lot of processes. You don't see what the numbers are. You don't see what the logistics is. You don't see all those things. But for a business of maybe 15, 20, you always see the whole process. So you are into that process and it makes you better. So I can actually push you from, if you are into marketing, I can throw you to logistics.
Yeah, sure.
Because I expect you to understand the process. It's not just coming that, no, I'm a marketer. Nah, it's not about being a marketer. It's about understanding the philosophy.
You need to be dynamic.
That's the word, dynamic. Understanding the philosophy of the brand. That's why I always have that philosophy of the brand is sharp, looks good.
Yeah, sure.
It's beyond the business. It's beyond what we do. If you can't show me what you can do outside, you can't show how good you are in different ways, then what are you doing in the business?
I think what I can get from what you've just said is that the most important thing, the most important foundation that you need for a business is having a vision and ideology that aligns with everybody that works with you. Because if that vision and ideology just sits with you, there would be a problem. So you need to make sure that it aligns with every other person that works with you. And that's extremely important, because that would help you in that growth plan that you have. That would, like you said, sharp looks good. Everybody already understands that you need to align with this vision. You need to align, whatever you are doing, it has to be sharp.
Yeah, it has to be sharp, because I always say that, the biggest problem for every business is a people's problem. Is people's problem is the biggest problem. Forget the product, forget the service. If you have a problem with the people, the staff here, You have a good product, you have a good service. So if you don't solve that, there's going to be serious problem at the end of the day. Because someone can just wake up with bad mood. Especially when I work with a lot of artisans, you understand? Because those artisans are the, how will I put them?
That was going to be my next question.
Artisans are the biggest problem for service.
Yeah.
Because they can just wake up in a very bad state of mind, and they may not even care about what you are thinking.
True.
It's about what they are thinking, and you need to be able to find that way to balance it and manage them. You can't go
because
attacking
you need them.
You need them because you can't go attacking them.
Yeah.
You can't go changing because first of all, it's very bad for a service company. You don't change people.
Yeah.
After you have built them to a certain level of trust. That is another thing. You need to actually build them to a certain level of trust that you can call in them and they go and deliver the service, and you know that you're going to deliver excellence. But if you now have an issue with them, I always say you need to be able to manage it, manage the situation. But sometimes some artists can be all the way, they just start misbehaving. Then you need to have say you need to let go. But I always say there should always be a plan B.
Of course.
For every artisans you have
to have like a plan.
You have to have a plan B that you also balance them in the level of work. This one should not be more than this one in the level. You need to be able to give them the same level of work flow, work quality at the same level. So that if this one can grow capacity, the other person has capacity to do the same thing. That's what I feel.
Fantastic. My penultimate question, right? So, there's been a lot of wave around technology, around AI, that is affecting different industries. First of all, I want you to tell me about the evolution of your industry. I noticed that recently you were at some events, right, where Metrotek was there. So talk to me about the evolution of your industry and the impact of AI and technology in what you do.
Let me start with the part of technology part. Yeah, we have grown from the Instagram, the websites, and everything. So I always feel like the website is a good way, but sometimes you need to look at the consumers. For a country like Nigeria, which I've actually understood a bit, consumers are actually for a service like printing, they want to see the product.
Correct. They want to see it.
They want to see.
They want to see samples.
They want to see samples. They don't want to just go to a site and just click. Give me so and so quantity and everything, and they click. The country we have not been enabled due to what the country is. People don't trust. So when they go to the site, they still want to have a conversation with who is in charge. Send me pictures. After you have spent so much money building a site, you have uploaded pictures. They were still going back to send me pictures, send me this, send me that. So for this website, it's still a shaky part.
It's still a shaky part.
For the AI part, it has helped designers. So a designer can just go to an AI site and just type what they have in mind. Give me so and so drinking or so and so in a cartoon character. So that has helped the design industry.
So you're able to get things out
faster, and makes it efficient.
Speed, yeah.
You understand? So it works a lot. Then for, like I said, the printing place, if you don't evolve with time leaves you. You can be the best printer maybe 3 years ago, and you don't create a brand for yourself as a printer, you don't get anywhere, you don't move. You have to look beyond the printing. What can I offer your present market that is beyond the printing? Everybody prints. I always tell everybody, everybody is a printer. I will deliver fast. I do the printing. You understand? So you have to do something that is different, tell a story, go beyond the printing line.
Sure.
That you need to evolve more than that.
Absolutely.
The printing will always be there, But if you don't keep telling the stories of beyond the printing,
Yeah.
how does your business relate with an everyday man?
Okay.
Everyday man that goes on the street to go and hustle. How does your business connect with them? Then
That's interesting. So, before I ask my final question, right? So, one of the things that I noticed about your brand and how you work, you like to tell stories. We've worked together and want to do like, let's tell a story. Let's tell a story. You always like, and one thing about you is you even in this chat, you've had all these your small quotes. If you don't evolve with time, time will leave you. So I'm going to put you on the spot. Give us about 2 or 3 of those your quotes. I know you have them, a lot of them. You've just said one. If you don't evolve with time, time will leave you. So I know you have a lot of them. Just give us maybe 2. Just give us.
idea when you get implementation, na headache.
That one's every day.
You understand? I have this one again. Closed mouths don't get fed. Recognize, explore, utilize available tools and limitless potentials. Then also you have after is good, the only way to do it better is time.
Absolutely.
You understand?
So what do you mean by that? After is good, the only way to do it better
is time. Like, you can be the best. Like, if 3 of us are good at something, it's who delivers on time. That's time. We're all good at what we do, but it's who can deliver, who has grown capacity to be able to deliver on time. That's
Fantastic.
it. You can be very good at what you do, but if you can't deliver on time,
There's
too
no
bad.
point.
There's no point.
Because the nature of your business is time-based, right? Somebody, for example, who has an event.
It's time-based, and you see that time-based is also where people forget it, that it should be your, how will I put that out? It should be your client's problem solver. They just call you and they say, don't worry, we'll deliver.
It does not bother.
They're not bothered. They just feel that you know what you're doing. So when you give me, I know it's good because of the fact that you have created a process, you have created a perception, which is very important, that you can deliver and you can grow capacity. There's another one again that I actually heard lately and I was very funny. You don't prepare for battle on the day of battle.
You don't wait till that day to now saying, okay,
you don't wait till that day. So
you have to,
like I said,
preparing before now.
You have to always keep evolving, looking for ways, evolving like through the artisans, through what you can get. How can I make this thing faster? How can I make this product better? Like, some always call me, like, I have some like few friends that always call us king of bags. I always smile at it. They say, no, say if you look at the page that we have, like the bags that we do, it looks at that and people take it as reference. See, this kind of bag I want. And the moment you have other brands that do the same business you do, that they take you as a reference,
yeah. You are
doing something good, right. Something very important that people are looking at. And I always tell people that design, the moment, this is to graphics guys, I always give them that, any graphics guy, because now I always have a graphics problem, because the present graphics guys, I'm taking you back to this. Sorry, I'm taking you back.
No, it's fine.
The present graphic guys are, I don't know whether is COVID that caused the problem, because we want to work from home. I don't understand that ideology present.
So this is it, right? Let me come in here. So I think COVID changed a lot of things. COVID changed my life. So before, it never used to be a problem going to the office, waking up at 5 a.m. But when COVID came, right, it just changed people's mindset. And that's why a lot of the Gen Zs now, they just want to work from home. And that's it.
I don't know, but why I'm saying that?
Before now, it never used to be like this.
There's no issue to work from home. My problem is that you're a graphics person at the age of 23. What have you seen? You have a 23-year-old. You haven't seen anything. You don't. No matter how much you know how to play around with elements, graphics, I always tell them that you haven't seen anything. Because why? If someone that is at 37 that is a graphics person and he wants to work from home, is acceptable. He has paid his dues for over the years.
He has been out there.
So if just relaxing and working from home, he understands what to do. He understands who to call, I say, a graphics person, don't rely on just your graphics. Grow yourself. Not just the, to me, graphics to me now is like Microsoft Word. I can do a design in less than 5 minutes because I already have what I want to design in my head. Because I understand the environment, I understand what you are looking at. So you that a 23-year-old, you are telling someone that you want to work from home because of the fact that you have maybe like you're working for 10 people. It's not enough. Because you also have guys like you that the next day the client can wake up and say, I've seen a better person at a better price.
Sure, absolutely.
But if you don't evolve yourself from just the graphics, it becomes a problem.
So one thing I can get from you is the mistake most people make is they do not value the importance of networking. And you cannot network sitting at the back of you. You have to be out there to meet people. So you've just broken it down. A 37-year-old guy has had experience, has met people, he has the network of people that he can call. But you cannot sit down on your desk and think that you can network enough. You need to go be out there.
You network on YouTube.
Be at events, be in the face of people so that they actually know that, okay, this is,
and
this person does this.
And there's something also like, it's called personal branding. If you're a graphics guy and you don't switch into selling yourself as whatever you want to evolve into, as a graphics guy, as an illustrator, as an art person, you need to be able to sell yourself and also sell the product while selling yourself. You have the service already, you have the design, everybody has the skill sets. A lot of people have the skill set, but there is something that you need to do to make you different from everybody. Not just the skill set. The skill set, you have it. But you need to do something different to make people look at you and give reason why they need to use your skill set. That's what most of them, the young ones, most of them don't understand. They just feel it's just to do graphics, send, FYI, reverse, bam, is over.
Interesting.
And it's very bad. It's where the industry actually complain about that. If we're going like this with the young ones, that they always want to work from home and nobody calls it out. You just see that you just have designers that are just designers and
they are not dynamic.
They are not creative.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why in the agency, in advertising agency now, you see, I always call them the creative ones. I always call them agency Ashewo, now they call them. They all jump.
They move from one place to another.
Because there are no new guys that have passed the test of time, that they understand that they need to be grounded. But they don't understand that. They just feel like, oh, that's just the design they go. If I collect my 200 bar, 300 bar, oh, wow, okay. But it can be more. They can be more.
Of course.
I met a guy that was actually like poach this guy for what? When I'm poaching somebody for almost a year.
Wow.
I always poach him, I always call him. Say, when you're ready, I'm available, just call. Because I see how much of, just like when you see yourself in somebody, like you see yourself, that this guy looks like is somebody that, this was where I was when I was at his age. Boy is like 22. You should be like 20.
So if you put him to come and work for you.
Yeah, and I don't understand. I sat him down and I was talking to him that, come, just call. I didn't okay, come and work in 3 days. Don't worry, just resume to work 3 days. Because I can see so many
potentials
in the boy. And he's just calm and I say, what can I do? I'll keep trying. One day, he will see reasons in doing that. That's all. Those are challenges. A lot of challenges like that.
Wow. Interesting. So, it's been a very interesting conversation. I've been able to learn a lot about the technicalities of your business in terms of what you face as a design and brand person, right? So I want to go into like something totally different. So in all of these challenges, how do you unwind as an individual? Because Problem do.
Probably not they finish. Oh.
Problem no dey finish. So
Yeah.
how do you get to unwind? Because see, in as much as we're talking about all of the technical ways to get out of all of these issues, you know, you need to find a balance around creating that mental health.
Mental
Because
health.
see, trust me, see that as men, right, as guys, we go through a lot mentally, and people underestimate the issue of mental health when it comes to men. They don't know that, you know, as men we go through a lot, and then we also need to actually find ways to unwind. Right? Some of these things that we try to do to just unwind is just to get all of those issues
Back away.
Exactly.
True.
So yeah, so I just want to know how, because this is a question I ask everyone that comes on the show. Of course, we get different responses.
Unwind. For me is, how will I say, you can't kill yourself. So when you are unwinding, I actually unwind, just chill.
Yeah.
Because most time when I chill and I go to the bar, sorry, at Cabin Lagos, I go to Cabin. To go and chill.
Yeah.
Even while chilling, you are creating.
Of course.
Because that's the only way you can always solve the next problem that is waiting for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the problem won't finish, it's still
Yeah.
there calming, but when you unwind, you should be able to still find a little bit of space to go back to what the problem is and find the solution while unwinding.
Yeah.
So it's basically just read books. I read books, I go to people's pages and look at what they are offering.
You explore.
Check things. Sometimes when I just think of something, I just go to Google, search, read about it. You know, no knowledge, keep
But
learning.
that's still work now. What do you do to take your mind away from work?
I'm a piano. I'm a piano. You hear music.
Yeah.
You just hear music, talk with people, drink.
True. So yeah, you talked about Cabin Lagos is one of PennyTree's merchants. So it's one of the places that we usually go to unwind. So you guys can stop by at Cabin Lagos, the best pre-drink spots in Lagos. Yeah, at Surulere. Yeah. So Tonye, it's great having you on the show. You're one of the unique people that has come on this show, and I really appreciate you honoring the invitation. Thank you very much for
Thanks,
coming.
man. Yeah, very true. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Yeah.